Morning, a closer look at the events leading up to a truck that crashed into a freight train and killed 5 people. It was our top story yesterday morning. In this Seminole County chopper footage, you can see the truck driver running from cops. We don't know why. We do know Sanford police are pursuing the car, kind of. 16 hours earlier, the same officer who spotted the truck this night pulled the truck over, or tried to, and the driver took off. You can watch as officers pull back and not a single squad car in sight. The driver keeps going, only the chopper following the truck. And talk about a wild ride, cutting corners, then picking up speed on a straightaway near the 18th Street Railroad crossing in Sanford. Here's where we're going to stop the video. We're not going to show you that horrible crash. Deputies say the truck was going at least 74 miles per hour, lights off, when it slammed into that stopped train. And again, we have decided not to show you that horrible impact. This morning, some of you may have questions concerning law enforcement policies, practices when it comes to pursuits. Things have changed a lot, and Dr. Richard Weinblatt is a professor at Seminole Community College, former Randleman, North Carolina Police Chief. Thanks for being here. You're always so helpful with us on these things.
All right, thank you, Tom. Nice to see you again.
Well, nice to see you. Congratulations on your doctorate, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were talking in the break. The world of law enforcement has changed a lot. When you were a police chief, chases were very common. They're becoming less common now. Why is that?
Because of liability. We're very concerned in law enforcement about liability, about hurting people. Nowadays, you know, especially motorcycles, you don't want to be chasing motorcycles because motorcycles always end up in crashes. And we're a very urbanized area here. You know, I used to be in law enforcement years ago in New Mexico, and we would chase people literally for an hour at speeds over 100 miles an hour because we could do that. It was more rural. There was less liability, there was less people to get hurt or killed.
Policies differ from department to department,
yes,
sheriff's office to sheriff's office, but there are some basic training things that all law enforcement officers get. You manage a police academy. What are the things you teach people that are going into this profession about chases, when to, when not to, that kind of thing?
Well, and what's interesting is today, actually, we're doing our traffic stops training for our current day academy at Seminole Community College, and we're going to be going over decision-making in pursuits and when to pursue and when not to. And part of the way the statute's written is that the officer has to constantly assess the conditions, the danger. When does the benefits of pursuing outweigh the dangers to the public and the people that they're pursuing? So they always, if the onus is on them, the responsibility is on them.
When you see video like we're looking at right here,
right,
what do you think?
Well, one thing I think is Seminole County Sheriff's Office and Sanford Police actually handled it pretty well. They didn't get this whole contempt of cop thing that happens certainly in the old style pursuits. They were very professional about it. They pulled back, you said yourself, not a single squad car in sight. They pulled way, way back. You could see the helicopters watching from a safe distance, and these folks weren't slowing down. You could see no brake lights are activated. They went square into that train. You know, it's sad what happened to them. Luckily, no other folks that weren't involved were killed, but it's tragic for the people involved and for their families.
Unusual to see a vehicle like this, once the pursuit behind them is called off, to keep driving wildly like this?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But as you noticed, they had run into him some time before. So this was not a one-time situation where that vehicle was driving in that manner. They sort of had a history there, so I don't know quite what was going on or why they were doing that, and I'm sure that's what the investigation is going to reveal, but it is unusual, yes.
Why? I think the first question that I have is if they tried to stop them the day before and it was for a traffic violation, why was it so important to stop them again? If it's for a traffic violation, why even take the chance that they're going to run like this again?
Okay. Well, we don't know the nature of the traffic violation. Okay, obviously the headlights were off. They were driving erratically, and there's all sorts of different levels of driving erratically. I can drive erratically and just move a little bit over, or I can drive erratically and be crossing into other lanes of traffic.
And endangering other people.
Absolutely, you're right. So that's part of what they're going to assess in their investigation is to the level that is. And that's the part of that whole thing of weighing the benefits of chasing versus not chasing.
Very difficult when you're making split-second decisions.
It's a hard split-second decision. A lot of times you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in the job.
Dr. Richard Weinblatt, thank you for being here. You're giving us your perspective. Heidi.